Bonjour and welcome, viewers and students, to Let's Speak French, Parlons Français. These lessons on basic French are short and easy, and if you follow the program regularly, I can guarantee you that very soon you will be able to speak and understand French quite easily. The previous class focused on qualifying adjectives. In today's class, we are going to learn all about demonstrative and interrogative adjectives. The lesson has been divided into 3 sections. In the first section, I will explain what a demonstrative adjective is and what its various forms are. In the second section, we'll examine the interrogative adjectives. And in the third section, I'll provide a text to revise what we learned in today's class. In this lesson, I will introduce you to words related to buildings, days of the week, and the months. A demonstrative adjective is a word that is used in the place of a definite or indefinite article. Similar to definite articles, demonstrative adjectives also indicate a specific noun. In French, there are 4 demonstrative adjectives: ce, cette, and c'est. However, technically speaking, there are only 3 because cet is just a variation of ce. Unlike the articles, however, demonstrative adjectives also specify distance and proximity. But while their English equivalents, this, that, these, and those, clearly indicate proximity and distance, the French demonstrative adjectives don't. Generally, it's the context that helps the listener to distinguish what is meant by the speaker. However, if one wishes to emphasize the proximity or distance, the suffixes si, which means here, or la, which means there, need to be added to the modified noun. Like qualifying adjectives, demonstrative adjectives also agree on gender and number. If the noun that is linked to the demonstrative adjective is masculine singular, the demonstrative adjective also must be masculine singular. Having explained the general characteristic of demonstrative adjectives, let us next look at each demonstrative adjective separately. Let's begin with ce. Ce is the masculine singular demonstrative adjective. It can be placed either before a noun or before a qualifying adjective. What is important is that the word that follows ce must always begin with a consonant. Ils arrivent ce lundi. They arrive this or that Monday. Ce beau musée est très connu. This or that beautiful museum is very famous. In order to specify proximity or distance, you simply place the suffixes to the noun that follows ce. For example, ils arrivent ce lundi-ci. They arrive this Monday. Ils arrivent ce lundi-là. They arrive that Monday. Ce beau musée-ci est très connu. This beautiful museum is very famous. Ce beau musée-là est très connu. That beautiful museum is very famous. Next, let us look at cette. As I mentioned earlier, cette is a variation of ce. This means cette is also masculine singular demonstrative adjective. However, it differs from ce in the respect that cette is always placed before a noun or a qualifying adjective that begins with a vowel or the letter H. Cet avril, nous terminons nos études. This or that April, we complete our studies. La bibliothèque se trouve dans cet ancien quartier. The library is located in this or that ancient locality. Let me insert the suffixes to this demonstrative adjective and specify the proximity and distance. Cet avril-ci, nous terminons nos études. This April, we complete our studies. Cet avril-là, nous terminons nos études. That April, we complete our studies. La bibliothèque se trouve dans cet ancien quartier-ci. The library is located in this ancient locality. La bibliothèque se trouve dans cet ancien quartier-là. The library is located in that ancient locality. Before we look at the other two demonstrative adjectives, let me illustrate this concept further. Hôtel is a masculine word and should be preceded by cet because it begins with the letter H. Monsieur Bernard travaille dans cet hôtel. Mr. Bernard works in this or that hotel. But if hôtel follows an adjective that begins with the consonant, cet changes to ce. Monsieur Bernard travaille dans ce magnifique hôtel. Mr. Bernard works in this beautiful hotel. Similarly, if a masculine noun that begins with a consonant is preceded by an adjective beginning with a vowel, ce is replaced by cet. Ce sentier mène au musée. This path leads to the museum. Cet étroit sentier mène au musée. This narrow path leads to the museum. Now let's examine cet. Cet is the feminine singular demonstrative adjective. It is always placed either before a noun or before a qualifying adjective. Cet can precede a noun that begins with a vowel as long as it is a feminine word. L'université reste fermée cette semaine. The university remains closed this or that week. Le jeune couple se marie dans cette charmante église. The young couple are getting married in this or that charming church. Again, to indicate proximity or distance, the suffixes ci and la can be added to the noun linked to cet. L'université reste fermée cette semaine-ci. The university remains closed this week. L'université reste fermée cette semaine-là. The university remains closed that week. Le jeune couple se marie dans cette charmante église-ci. The young couple are getting married in this charming church. Le jeune couple se marie dans cette charmante église-là. The young couple are getting married in that charming church. Now let's examine se. Se is the only plural demonstrative adjective. It precedes any noun that is plural, irrespective of its gender. Se can be placed either before a noun or before a qualifying adjective. Ces restaurants sont les meilleurs de la ville. These or those restaurants are the best in the city. Ces quelques mois, il fait très chaud ici. These or those few months, it is very hot here. This demonstrative adjective can also indicate proximity and distance when the suffixes are added to the noun that agrees with se. Ces restaurants-ci sont les meilleurs de la ville. These restaurants are the best in the city. Ces restaurants-là sont les meilleurs de la ville. Those restaurants are the best in the city. Ces quelques mois-ci, il fait très chaud ici. These few months, it's very hot here. Ces quelques mois-là, il fait très chaud ici. Those few months, it is very hot here. So these are the 4 demonstrative adjectives of the French language. Ce, cet, cet, se. As you can see, there are 2 singular forms, ce and Seth, and one plural form, se. Seth is simply a variation of ce. The French demonstrative adjectives don't distinguish between the concepts of proximity and distance. So when used alone, ce and its inflected forms can either mean this, these, or that, those. It's usually the context that helps the listener understand what is meant. But if the speaker wishes to stress on proximity and distance, he can simply add the corresponding suffix at the end of the noun that is linked to the demonstrative adjective. And finally, like all qualifying adjectives, demonstrative adjectives also match in gender and number with the noun they precede. Next, let me introduce you to the interrogative adjectives. As the name suggests, these adjectives are generally used in questions. Like demonstrative adjectives, these adjectives are also used in place of an article. But unlike demonstrative adjectives, interrogative adjectives generally precede a noun and not so much an adjective. It is not grammatically wrong to place an interrogative adjective before a qualifying adjective, but one usually doesn't. The reason for this is quite straightforward. It is when the speaker wishes specific information regarding a noun that he links it to an interrogative adjective. If the noun has a qualifying adjective, already a certain amount of information regarding the noun is furnished. This information may sometimes be sufficient and no additional information is required. Let's consider this sentence. I like red roses. The sentence clarifies what kind of roses one likes. Therefore, it would not be necessary to ask the question, which roses, because we know the speaker likes the red variety. But if the qualifying adjective was removed from the sentence, one could ask which roses, because the speaker does not clarify which roses he meant. This is why it is not common for an interrogative adjective to be placed before a qualifying adjective. In English, one often gets confused between what and which. What is your favorite book, or which is your favorite book? This confusion does not happen in French because there is only one interrogative adjective and its three inflected forms. So altogether, there are four interrogative adjectives in French: quel, quelle, quel, and quelle. As you may have noticed by now, every adjective is affected by the gender and the number of the noun it modifies. Hence, the four inflected forms are masculine singular and plural and feminine singular and plural. Quel, quelle, quelle, quelle. Let's see each form separately. Quel is the masculine singular interrogative adjective. Il est admis à quel hôpital? In which hospital is he admitted? Quel is the masculine plural interrogative adjective. Quels magasins sont ouverts le dimanche? Which shops are open on Sundays? Quel is the feminine singular interrogative adjective. Tu travailles dans quelle banque? In which bank do you work? Quelle is the feminine plural interrogative adjective. Quelle école offre des cours spécialisés? Which schools offer special courses? So as you see, it's very simple to use interrogative adjectives in French. The only thing one needs to remember is the gender and number of the noun that is modified. Also, pronunciation-wise, it is not complicated at all, given that there is only one single pronunciation. Before we end the lesson, let us revise what we learned today. Here's a dialogue between two people on the city of Bruges in Belgium. I'm going to slowly read out and comment on the text so that you can understand how demonstrative and interrogative adjectives are used. Tu sais, j'aime bien cette belle ville. Mais tu parles de quelle ville? Bruges, en Belgique. Ce que j'adore, c'est que cet endroit est tranquille et vert. J'aime me promener dans ce quai, au bord de cette attrayante canal-ci, devant ces magasins-là. Quels magasins? Des magasins de chocolat. Quelle sorte de chocolat ils vendent? Chocolat au lait, aux noisettes, chocolat noir, blanc, praliné, des chocolats de toutes sortes. Bruges est célèbre pour sa chocolaterie artisanale. Ah bon? Je sais que cette ville-ci est connue comme Venise du Nord. Par quel nom? Venise du Nord? Comment ça? Je ne le savais pas. Merci pour ce merveilleux renseignement-là. Je t'en prie. In this text, you can observe an interrogative adjective in every question. Quelle ville? Quel magasin? Quelle sorte de chocolat? And quel nom? Each time the demonstrative adjective precedes the noun and agrees with its gender and number. The text has 3 examples of demonstrative adjectives. Cette belle ville, cet endroit tranquille et vert, and ce quai. The first demonstrative adjective is followed by a qualifying adjective, belle. The text also illustrates 4 examples of demonstrative adjectives with suffixes for indicating proximity and distance. Cette attrayante canal-ci, ces magasins-là, cette ville-ci, and ce merveilleux renseignement-là. With this, we come to the end of our 4th lesson. Before we end, let me summarize in a few words what we learned today. Like all adjectives, demonstrative and interrogative adjectives agree in number and gender with the noun they qualify. But unlike qualifying adjectives, demonstrative and interrogative adjectives only precede a noun. They can never be placed after a noun. This lesson was divided into 3 parts. In the first part, we learnt about demonstrative adjectives. In the second part, we learnt about interrogative adjectives. And finally, in the third part, we revised today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed today's session. In the next class, we'll learn about possessive adjectives. I hope to see you in the next class. Thank you and à bientôt. See you soon.